there is some issue with the audio. Like last time also, it was not played. I am not sure like why it is happening. Okay, so we'll start with the unstructured businesses. So like from the previous email, uh, I got the reviews. Like most of the students, they are not having idea. Like they are thinking business as a very structured or very big company. So this is a misconception, right? So business is not something like you are thinking about a very big company or something, right? So it may be a small thing. Like if it is a business, right? You can assume it a very small business. If it is unstructured, you can assume it pan wala shop, right? Some general store. You can assume a ironing shop, right? So whatever you are thinking, like when you are stepping out of your home, so it's something like when you are stepping out of your home, right? You are seeing a lot of vegetable shops are there, right? So this is something like a vegetable shop. This is something like a grocery shop, right? Here you get a ironing shop, right? After then you are getting a pawn shop. You are getting a restaurant here. Here you are getting a something like some other shop. So it is not something like if you're considering a business, it is very big shop, right? It should be any shop or it should be any structured or unstructured business. This is the first misconception actually I want to clear. So a lot of students, they are asking like what type of business. We are going to the companies, they are not giving us a data. So we are not focusing, we are not asking you to go for a big multiracial companies, right? So you can just start with the small shops like vegetable, grocery, iron shop, pawn shop, restaurant, right? So these are the shops. Even you can take a newspaper, some of the newspaper, right? Your milk vendor is coming to give a milk, right? That also, like he is also having a lot of issues or business problems, right? A dairy shop, right? So there are multiple things like you can just see in front of you who are on a business or who are just doing a sales and a purchase. It is considered as a business, right? So you don't have to think a lot about a business. So if it is any of the business, right? So it is most probably like you'll get a unstructured businesses. That is good because they are nearby you and you have accessibilities, right? So what exactly the problems are coming in unstructured business? So if you see here, the first thing is the inventory control. So the inventory management is pretty important. Like if you are just having a different businesses, so in that condition, like how to manage the inventory? How to manage inventory? So this is a big question. So what happens if the inventory is not managed? So it will create a direct loss or indirect loss, right? So how these direct losses are coming? Direct losses are coming if you go with this image, right, or this image. So if you see this image, so this is something like if you have a structured or if you have a proper inventory or proper commodity management, proper different like you can say commodity management, or here you have something like it's not proper, right? Okay. So what happened? How it is a direct loss? So if something you are storing in a fridge, right? If you see here, so you stored it for nearly 10 days. You are not at all aware like these are the things are there in your storage, right? When you are storing in your fridge also, like I will give you an example. So in your fridge also, like when you are storing a lot of things in a freezer, you are putting some of the things in some other subsections you are putting a lot of things. But what happens, the things which are in a front, you are able to see that particular things. But the things who, like those who are just putting on the back side, you won't be able to recognize them, right? For a certain period of time, you don't know like what is there in the backside. So that is acting as inventory. So what exactly it is doing, so if it is you are placing at a back, you won't be able to recognize what is there in the back. Suppose here you put a card, right? But you won't be able to see the card. Visibility is zero. So what happens after some time, it is getting spoiled. It is started smelling. When it is started smelling, you are able to recognize, okay, this is what is there inside the fridge. So what exactly it is doing, it is occupying the space, occupying space, right? So because of this, your fridge looks like filled. And what happens, if it is spoiled, it is a loss for your money, correct? So here also, if you see here, like if you have a structured inventory properly, everything is structured, right? So what you can do, you can easily find out the product, what exactly the products are there, like where you can able to see the product, you can identify the expiry date, you can see like what exactly are in the stock, or what is there in the stock out condition. If you have proper, you can see, easily see these things are, or these product is in stock out condition, so you can just give a place order, right? But if it is unstructured, like you don't have anything in inventory, you didn't put it, you're filling it on a random basis, you won't be able to identify, right? So these are a lot of things happening when you are just going with unorganized business. So this is the main problem, inventory management, right? The other thing is that is the price inconsistencies. So what happens, like if you are going to shop, suppose if you want to buy something, right? So what happens? You are searching in Amazon, you are searching in Flipkart, you are searching in Myntra, and you are searching offline also in stores. So mostly what happening in offline stores, people are just checking the size, cloth size with a brand, and they can place an order from Myntra or whatever the like portal they are getting at a cheaper price, right? So this is something like is coming for a price inconsistency. Like you have a different price in Amazon, Flipkart, or Myntra. Okay, so this is a major problem when it comes with the unstructured business, right? So what happens, like if it is a small shop, if you see here, if it is a small shop like this, right? So they bought a lot of commodities here. You can see a lot of commodities they have bought, but there is not much profit margin for them, right? So what they can do, they can just sell these commodities on a MRP price because they don't have much profit margin. Okay, so what happens? But when you compare this same commodity with some big store, like it's a departmental store.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Is it like the discussion in general? Because I joined late. The discussion is generally going around how there are different supply chain issues basis the kind of communities
Yeah.
and
I'll connect the supply chain also here. Okay, so this is a basically a general overview, like what exactly the issues businesses are facing, right? After then, I'll go to metadata part. Okay, so this is if you go with the departmental store, they are offering you nearly 5% or 10% of the discount. Why they are giving? Because they are purchasing on a bulk. So what here unstructured businesses, like if you go here, so they are purchasing nearly 10 pieces of product, right? But here they are purchasing nearly 100 pieces or more than 100 pieces on a bulk, and they are directly purchasing from the company. So here two things are coming. One is something they are purchasing from the retailer, right? Retailer or a dealers. So because of this, the prices are high, right? Because these retailers are also purchasing from some other, like if he is from particular village, he is purchasing from some other retailer who is from who's a zonal retailer who is dealing with whole zone or whole district, right? So they are purchasing from here and he is purchasing from here. So what happens in that condition? The price is what exactly, because they also put some profit margin, right? They also put some profit margin. So when it is going to end user or end shop, the margin will decrease slowly. So they won't be able to give you a huge discount. They'll just offer you on MRP, because here if you see there is a margin of nearly 2 rupees or 3 rupees, right? In some product it is more, but in some product it is very less. Okay, so this price inconsistency is the biggest problem. Like how to manage the price inconsistency. So one way is there, like they can see from the data. So when you are just analyzing the data for them, you can see from data what exactly the commodities. Suppose they are having A, B, C, D, four commodities are there. So if you see the commodities A, so if you see a sales, right? Sales, you can see it's a per month basis, I can say, just assume. So suppose A commodities, they are able to sell 50 pieces. B commodities, they are able to sell only 5 pieces per month. C, they are able to 100 pieces. And D, suppose they are able to sell 1,000 pieces. Right? So from here, like from this thing, you will get an idea what exactly the most selling product, right? If you just put it on a time scale or days by day by a day, or on a time scale you can put, right? Here you put a commodity. So something like if you put a commodity number A or commodity number D, suppose commodity number D, you can say per day by sale. So suppose it is here in a month of May, June, July, right? So if it is increasing, so you can say like these sales are increasing, right? The commodity sales. So what happens from the data, you'll get an idea what exactly the average sale per month, right? So from if you know the idea of average sale, so you can just take average sale and plus minus, you can just put like 20 pieces or 30 pieces more, or 20% or 30% more, because the sales are fluctuating, and you can procure this material directly from the company. So if you do this thing, then you are able to reduce uh, the cutting of your profit, which is coming on the basis of from retailer, dealer, and this. Or you can just directly purchase from a zonal retailer. So this retailer margin you can reduce and you can get a more profit, right? So these are the some of the things you can just deal with the price inconsistency. You see like from the data, what products are selling, like based on the product, you can just decide like these are the more product, and you are able to manage the inventory. So these two things are related as of now. So if the price inconsistencies are there, that might be the case. The challenges are with the inventory. So you need to see the inventory. After then, you need to see the price inconsistency in the market, right? And you need to find out, like you need to give a suggestion, like these are the possible options. If you just try, then might be the case you are able to reduce the inconsistency in the prices, and the profit margin you are able to increase. So this is something like a customer experience. If the customers,
Excuse me, sir. Sorry
yeah,
to interrupt. One doubt, sir. To understand the market, we can use Amazon, Flipkart, such websites, right, sir?
yes, yes. So, like the thing is that you can't compare. a small shop prices with Amazon, Flipkart, and other online retailers, right? Or other online companies like Reliance and all. Because what happens, like they are directly coming from the farmers, right? So, like if you see Amazon Fresh, they are just directly procuring from the farmers. The prices are pretty less. And same thing for the like products or grocery items, they are directly purchasing from either of the companies. Like if they purchase directly from the Tata, they are purchasing in a bulk. They have a huge places to put the like they have a good warehouses, right? So they can store it and they can sell it. But for a small shop like this, they don't have a much place to put all the things in a place, right? So they are procuring on a very small amount. So the thing is that when you are going for a price inconsistency, the volume matters a lot. If you have a large volume, the prices you can just pull it down.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So these are the points. If you go with the other point is the operational efficiency. So so what are the challenges you are facing? Operation efficiency, it means like you have a warehouse, right? At what time, like if you are placing order with the retailers, right? If you are giving an order with the retailers and they are just taking a lead time of nearly 30 days to procure a commodity or product, right? So 30 days is too much. Like if they have a stock out condition, then again they have to wait for 30 days. So you have something like operational efficiency, you have a multiple retailers, so that if one retailer is not able to supply, you have a backup of some other retailer who can provide you with the smallest lead time. Okay. So another thing is that data analytics limitation. What exact? Because they don't have any data or data analysis options, right? So this is what you are doing in the project. You are taking a data from them nearly. So this is the pattern you are applying. So you are taking a data for a sales for a month. You are shortlisting the inventory. You are just shortlisting the commodity. Like this is what the commodity is, it's selling more. The average sale of this commodity is more. It is any of the business, right? So any of the business, these things are applied. From here, you'll get a data and idea like what exactly the lead time, what should be the inventory. Okay, so these things will come in picture. And other thing now it will come as the supply chain. Okay, so so this is something like a food supply chain. If you see here, or I'll give you an example of this one. Right. So if you see here, so whole things are connected with each other. From this image, what you people are thinking about? Just let me know. Unmute yourself and let me know. Yeah. Anyone?
So basically, it tells us that how everything is related to each other. Each and every product is affected by another sector.
So there will be interrelation of commodity.
Yes, basically.
The factors of production.
Could you please repeat it again?
The factors of production.
Factors of production. Okay.
Steps involved in consuming a product from production to the consumption.
Okay.
This is the entire life cycle of the product. So from manufacturing to the end user consumption. This is like
Okay.
the entire life cycle.
Okay.
Yes, we can say it in forms of B2B, B2B.
What is there? B2B and
B2C.
so it is telling about you B2B and B2C, right? Okay. Anyone else? So what happen if the supply chain, if suppose this thing is not working, what would be the consequences in the market? What will happen if the supply chain is not working properly?
Supply side shortages, like for example, tomato price hike, which is happening. Cold storage उतना नहीं है. So because of that, the price has shot up to 120 rupees a kilo. But
Okay.
अगर proper system होता तो नहीं होता.
Correct.
Supply will not meet the demand.
Correct.
So imagine that
Okay. Anyone else?
If the logistic team doesn't work well, there will be a disruption in customer relationship, sir.
Okay. Customer relationship. Anyone else want to comment on this? Okay. Yeah. So you all are absolutely correct. So supply chain is pretty important, right? So I'll give you an example, right? So here, if you see what exactly the effect of supply chain. So suppose if in some city, right? In some city, if it is a flood-like situation, okay. So what happened? In that flood-like situation, the main thing is affecting is the transport, right? So if a transport is affected in a flood-like situation, you have a scarcity of a product, right? You are not able to get sufficient supply. As already one of our friend told, like if supply versus demand is effective, there should be a change in the prices, right? So yeah, so in this whole supply chain, if one of the factor is not working properly, right, it will fluctuate the prices for whole supply chain, or it will fluctuate the price for the commodity, right? If suppose the war is going on between Iran and Israel, right? So what happened if the resources from Iran, right, that is the oil, these oil resources are somewhat like they are not able to give or supply the oil to other countries, right? So because of that oil resources, this transportation, because of the transportation, the oil resources are not coming, and because of this, whole market will get affected. Because for running a machine or running anything or generating electricity, you need oil, right? Or for running a vehicle itself, you need oil. So if suppose this is a raw material, if raw material is not available in the market, right? So you won't be able to go for a production. If the production is not affected, though, what exactly the consumer is getting a food here, they are not able to get a food. They are not able to get us proper on a demand, whatever you are just asking on a restaurant, you will not able to get it. So the supply chain is pretty important, right? If the lead time of a supply chain, if he is committing for 20 days, right? If it extends from 20 days, then what happened? He started losing the customers, because the customer want a product on 20th day. If you are not supplying, he'll just see some other option, right? So the same thing, if I'll come here with the example of the business. So if you are not getting a newspaper, okay, if you're not getting a newspaper, so what happened? For 2 days or 3 days, you are not getting the paper, person is not coming. You are looking for some other person to just give a newspaper, right? You want to switch because the person is not providing a proper services, right? Similarly, if the milk vendor is not coming, right? You won't bother like what exactly the issues they are having, like if their cattles are not well, right? So you won't bother unless and until the quality is very good. Okay. So the services are very good. You try to compensate the services with the delay. Otherwise, if you are getting a better services than the particular vendor, then you will switch on. Because you are paying the money, you simply say like I'm paying the money and I'll just try to switch it on. So supply chain is a key factor, like in any of the businesses, whether it is a small business or it is a basically a big business, organized or unorganized sector. So these are some of the other things. Maybe I'll share with you these details. You just go through it. But these are the most important parts. Whatever I have covered up to 6 is the most important part. So up to this, it is clear. Just give a thumbs up. Great. Okay, so after seeing this image, what you people are thinking about?
wholesale market,
Yeah. Okay,
सब्जी वो मेन मंडी कहीं की.
correct. Technically, you can say
Unorganized market.
correct. Unorganized. Next, what is what you are thinking about next?
Dominance of only few products in that market.
Okay. Others?
No proper storage facility.
Okay. No storage.
Even the shop is not there. There's no proper shop. They're selling in the open space.
So no logistic or no proper shop. Okay. Other things?
It's direct to market, actually. You can say from the field.
How can you say it's a direct to market?
I mean, assuming that they are the farmers and bringing their produce.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. So anyone else?
So here the price would also fluctuate. Like in the morning, they can sell it for the maximum price, but as they don't have the storage, by the evening their products will start to rotten up. So they would have to sell it at a lower price.
Correct. Good point. Okay. So now I'll come to the conclusion. So these are the good points, like some of you have pointed out. This is what the business problem. So when you are going to the business, don't discuss anything about what exactly the problem is, because you already know from this. Like if you see this photo, might be some of you pointed out the same very correct things like a price fluctuation, right? So if you see no storage, right? If you see no shop, right? So these things are affecting the price, affecting the business directly. What happened? This is an important point. I want to point it out. So 2 points are very important here. First is the price fluctuation. Second thing is the no storage, right? So these are the direct losses for the customers. If you see, sorry, for the vendors. If you see here, so if they are coming from the village or they don't have a storage facility, what are the consequences they are facing? So by end of the day, what they can do? Okay, someone came. Just give me a minute. Sorry, actually the courier guy came.
Sir, just a small doubt, sir. Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I was just looking at the timeline. Final submission is between 15th to 20th, is it, sir?
Sir, please wait for time. Just let me finish this point, please. Okay. So if you see here, so here you can see a price fluctuation. So it's something like end of the day what they can do because of not a proper storage. They have to sell the commodities at a very lower price, right? If suppose the
Yeah.
price for a day is nearly 30 rupees per day, right? So at last, what they have to do, they have to sell nearly at 5 rupees or 6 rupees per day. Why? Because you don't have a storage. At anyhow, it will get spoiled. So this price fluctuation is pretty important. If they have a proper storage, they can store it and sell it on the next day. And what the benefits here, the other people are getting benefited. So if something like if it is a retailers, so they'll just purchase at the end of the day at a lower price. They store it and they can sell it at a higher price, right? So this is what happening. Like if you have a shortage of something, so in shortage of something, what happens? The shortage sometimes is created, or sometimes it is because of the natural calamities or transportation also, right? So in that case, the prices are fluctuating a lot. They can sell at a price of nearly 3 times, 4 times because they have a facility to store. They have a proper inventory management, and they can with that thing they can just store it and they can sell it at a higher price, right? So this is something like the issues mainly the unorganized sector businesses are facing if they are a directly farmer or they are a low investment businesses. So these are the main challenges they are facing. And when you are going to a business, like if it is a vegetable shop, so these are the important point which you need to consider. Don't pitch for the data at a first meeting. You just try to communicate with them on these particular points, how they are just organizing, if there is a like some left of vegetables at the end of the day, right? So suppose at the end of the day they are having nearly 10 kg vegetables and they are coming from too far, right? They're coming from 20 kilometer, 30 kilometer to selling a vegetables. So what they are doing, how they are storing, if they are not storing, what exactly at what prices they are saying selling. So in that case, if they're selling at a lower price, right? So this is particularly a loss. So is there will be any like portable storage device they can procure to store it, right? So what is the cost of the price? And if the cost of the prices, you need to see like if this cost is pretty high with the loss, like if they are having a loss of nearly 2000, right? Nearly 2000 per month, and this commodity is coming, or this portable storage is coming nearly at 5000, right? So what they can do, at least they can just purchase this so that after 3 months, so this is something like they have to give a one-time investment. After 3 months, they are able to like they are able to reduce the loss, and this loss is compensating this prices, right? So this 2000 per loss they are able to reduce, and after 3 months, like if you can see 2000, 6000 for 3 months. So one-time investment, after 3 months, they are getting a profit of nearly 2000. So these are some of the things you need to see, like when you are going with the business own directly, and open your eyes always. So these are the different domains where you can just shoot and just see there is a possibilities like of getting a data, right? So don't think about a very big business. Think about the very small businesses as well, because they have a data and they have a lot of issues, right? So this is, if this is clear, I'll go to
Sir,
the next point. Yeah,
sir,
yeah.
but that condition of collecting the data for 1 year. So if it's a small business and there is no data, if we maybe we collect data for 1 month or 2 months, but for more period we cannot do it, right?
Yes, I'll give you example for this. Okay. So I think I am not able to zoom it too much. Okay. So I'll give you example for this thing. So if you have a data, right? If you are just suppose this is your data point. This is months versus some commodity, right? So if you have a 2 months data, one point is here and one point is here. Only you have 2 points, right? You won't be able to understand. In 2 months, there is a fluctuation. There is not a fluctuation. It is happening because of some seasonal changes or because of some other changes, right? If you have a 6 months data, right? In 6 months, at least one season you are considering. Suppose it's a rainy season, right? So there should be a demand or the sales is increasing and then it is dropping down, right? So this is something like it is giving some outcome for you, right? If you are having a 2 months data, then only 2 points are there, na? So if you join these 2 points, you get a line. Okay, you are not able to find it out. It's a linear or it's a parabolic or it's something else, right? But in the same cases, if you have multiple points, right, then you won't be able to join like this. If you want to see then what exactly the pattern is there, you want to join all the points, and from here you will able to find it. Okay, this is not a straight line, this is something like a curve. Okay, so what I mean to say from this plots is something like if you get a less data, you won't be able to get insights. Sometimes it happens you are plotting only 2 points, you're not getting anything. So coming to your point is how to get a data, right? So it's something like if you get a data for nearly 6 months, so your project timeline is nearly 6 months, right?
So we can take 6 months to do the project.
So you have a two terms, right? So this is why we are saying like you don't wait for the project like to start. Just try to take a data or find a business before them itself. If you have a plan for registering a BDM project, right? So you can just plan it previously and just try to collect the data. Okay, because 2 months data doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Got it? Yeah. So this point is clear. I hope it is clear to all. Just give a thumbs up. I'll just move upon metadata a little bit and then I can take questions.
Sir, if there is an organization with data more than 3 months and we ask them just now, is that okay?
More than 3 months data they have. Yeah, it is fine. But that is what I'm telling. Like if you have a multiple, so if you see here, you have only 2 points, right? If you have only 2 points or 2 months data, there is only one line, which is a linear. So you won't be able to find like it is a linear relation, it is a parabolic relation. But if you have a more data, na, then you can easily get the insights from there.
Like if we ask the organization even now, and if they have more than like 3-4 months, it's a like an organization. It has more than 3 to 4 months. That data is okay, right?
Yeah, that is fine, but you have to, I'm not able to comment it right now because you have to see the trend. So that is what you are doing in a pre-visualization. When you are getting a data, you can just try to plot the data and see like if there is more noise in the data and no pattern is coming, it doesn't make any sense. 3 months data as well.
Yes, sir.
Right?
If
So
there is
should
any pattern or something, the data is good.
pattern in line with your problem statement. Right?
Okay.
So if you are
Language.
correct, if you are just seeing a seasonal changes, right? Or inventory changes, or if you need to forecast something like for a nearly 2 years or 3 years, so with 2 months data you won't be able to forecast, right?
Yes.
So in that case at least you can have a data for a 2 years so that you can just do a seasonal forecast, like in month of summer what exactly is happening. If you have a nearly 4 seasonal data, you can have a insights. Okay, this is what happening in previous 3 to 4 seasons, then only you will be able to comment it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so it is something like I'll give you example. Like if like when the kids are there nearly of 5 to 4 year of age, nearly 1 to 2 year of age, like if your baby is there, you won't be able to say like in which field he is interested, right? When he grow up, he went to school nearly 5 to 6 years, you have understanding, okay, he is good in maths, right? So after 10 years, what happens is something is fluctuating and he's finding interest in commerce, right? So on the basis of only 5 years, you can't say like he is interested in math and we can just build his career in the maths.
Okay,
Got
sir.
it?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So it is clear. I can just move forward with the metadata part. Okay. So it is a very good activity. Maybe you can also see, if you just see any of the image, like in your phone, you are just clicking the image. Okay. When you are clicking an image, you are going for the information. There is uh, a tab where you can get information in the uh, mobile gallery, and you can find all the information about the image. Okay. So these information, like what exactly, so this is something like your data. If you see here, it's already written. So this is your data. So from image, like if we can see this image, we can say it is blurred, right? But after then, we won't be able to say anything. How much blurriness is there? What exactly the consequences of the business blurriness, right? So when we go with the data, so if you see here, so the first thing is here, he told like what type of image it is. It is a JPG image, or it is a PNG image, right? So from here, you'll get idea what type of image format it is. What is the size of an image? If you go more towards this, you can see like on what day it is created, what exactly the dimension of the image, right? So when it is modified, if you have just edited the image, when it is edited, right? So these are the things which give you the information about image. Information about image. So image here is considered as a data. So this is something like if you can see here, so it is a information about your data. Similarly, if you see here this image, so this is something like a image. It is created. It is clicked by this guy. Okay. If you see additional fields, so if you go title he has given when the image is created in 1920. Who is the creator, right? Where is the source? If it is downloaded anywhere, from where it is downloaded, right? And is there will be any copyright or other things. So if you see here, so this is what the image, it's considered as a data, and this is what information. So whatever the things we are giving, like if we have some data and we are giving information about the data, that is called a metadata. Okay, where you are giving information about your data. So if you see here, if you come about your data, if you have an Excel file, so this is what your data is all about. So this is your data points where you can have a different cases, right? Different names, different assignments, right? Or different nomenclatures, right? So what exactly? Because if I'll say here, I'm hiding this one, right? Are you able to say anything about the data? If I just hide it and give it to you, are you able to say anything about the data? It's not possible. So it's something like the data is your, I know, like if I have taken this data, I know I have information about this data. I have a metadata because I am a creator. But if the same thing is communicated to some other person, right? He is a new person. If you say like if you to your friend, right? So in that case, he won't be able to identify anything because he don't know anything about this thing. He don't have any information about what exactly this, right? What this 2 is saying, what this 15 is saying, what this number is saying. Okay. So in that condition, if you want to explain anything about your data, right? Then you have to explain them about what exactly your data is representing. You have to give them information about your data, right? So when you are taking basically a businesses, when you are adding your file, you have to tell everything in the metadata. How much year data you are taking? Year data you are taking. It is one financial year, that is 2024 to 2025, or it is 2023 to 2024. So this thing you have to clearly mention in the metadata. Or if you are taking 3 months data, you have to write everything about, like, you are taking 3 months data, and the data range is from nearly May to June 2024, whatever year it is, right? Then only the reviewer or the QA who is evaluating your report, he'll come to know about your data, because they are not seeing your data. Your data is already there in the drive, right? So they are just viewing and validating your data, but all the things you are expecting in the metadata, so that you can explain your data about what exactly the type of data you have, what the different commodities you have, what are the different SKUs you have, right? So these all the things you have to write details in your metadata portion. Okay, so if you are cleaning a data, then also you need to include like you have 50 commodities or 50 SKUs. From there, you are just selecting 30 commodities, or you are selecting only 10 commodities, right? So on what basis you are selecting a 10 commodities, you have to explain here. So you have plotted it something like this, like if so these commodities are following some trend, right? So it is a if you just go with the linear regression, it is fitting with the curve, right? Others are acting as outliers. That's why you have removed these commodities, right? Or you can say like you have 50 commodities. In this 50 commodities, only 10 commodities are used for 80% business. Other are contributing only 0.01%. Right? So you don't have to focus more about this. Is directly outliers, and you have to reject it directly. Right? Because this is something like creating an inventory, and it is a direct loss for the business owner, right? So then you have to explain it clearly what exactly your metadata is all about, how you have created a data. So these are the things you have to include in your metadata portion. Okay. So if you see here, this is also two things are there. Like if it is a superstore sales, right? So what exactly the superstore is all about? What is the year of data you have taken? What is the month of data is there, right? What is the region of interest, right? So if you see here, it's a region one. So you have to, from here, you are not able to identify what this R1 represent, right? So you have to clearly have to write what exactly this region means, right? You have to write what exactly the city or whatever is there. So it's something like a sample thing I'm saying, like this is how you have to explain about your sales value, your quantity in kgs. So if you see here, they have clearly written in quantities in kg. It should be in tons. You have to write it should be in ton, right? Sales value is in rupees or it's in dollar. You have to specify, right? So these are the things you have to just include in the metadata portion. Okay, so this is the example of an image. If you go, they have taken what is exactly the aperture you have taken, right? So what is the dimension of the image? It's a RGB image, or it's a grayscale image, right? Or it's some other format image they have to explain, right? So these things are coming in the metadata portion. Okay, I hope it is clear. Maybe I'll close the session. If it is clear, just give a thumbs up. I'll just move ahead with the questions then. Okay, great. So I'll close this and stop sharing. Okay, now I'll go some of the questions. Yeah. So I received a message where I'll get a reading this thing. So if you are active in your mails, right? If you are just regularly seeing your mails, so in mails you will get everything. So whatever we are just having the recordings, we are sharing it with you all via mail. We are uploading in YouTube, and we are sharing the links. So the reason is that for uploading in the YouTube is something like because if we share a mail or via drive, so most of the people are accessing the files with their personal email IDs. They are not. It's not. I'm not saying it's their fault, because in while you are using a mobile or laptop, your personal email IDs are getting logged in, right? So you just click. We are getting every time when you are clicking, we are getting a notifications. So for avoiding that, we put it on YouTube so that you can get access and you can have everything in one place. Okay. So these all things I'll just try to put it in. So in YouTube, and just be active with the mails. Whatever is the information is there, right? We are sharing via emails. Everything will be there in the emails. Just try to scan your emails frequently. You'll get to know about everything, right? Okay, fine. So I'll go with the doubt one by one, and then we can wind up the meet.
Good evening, sir. This is Syed
Yeah.
speaking.
So you take it in the order we raised our
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, Syed, we can't take a question like this. We can go with the order. You can't come. If you have anything, you can raise your hand. Yeah, Karthikeyan.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Tell me.
Okay, so I'm currently preparing my final report and I wanted to ask if I can ask a question regarding the analysis itself.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
So analysis itself, you want to ask a question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so I'm doing my project on a vegetable vendor, a very small vegetable vendor, and basically one of my problem statements is the classic he's facing a wastage issue. A lot of his vegetables are getting wasted, so I'm aiming to minimize the wastage. So my question is basically that what I have done is through certain steps I've at the end of the problem statement I've arrived at.
Just make it concise. Make it short and just tell me. Don't go with a very lengthy questions because I have a limited time and I have to address every query. So just make it short, right? And just tell.
Okay, sir. So the point is that I've come up with certain values that I have to suggest to him,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't really do any forecasting or scenario analysis on those values because I don't have a lot of data. So I was just asking that if I don't really have a way to prove that those values, whether they will actually reduce his wastage or not, can I still suggest them in the report?
You can suggest it, but if you want to do this thing, right, forecasting and other things, right? How much data you have?
I just have 2 months of data. Sir.
No. It's not possible to do too much data because that is what I told. Like in the previous example, I told if you want to draw a line or if you want to draw a curve, you won't be able to identify what exactly is happening. In 2 months, you won't be able to think like if this is a business problem or it is related to a business problem because you're not getting anything from there, right? Only 2 points are there. From 2 points, how you can just do the whole analysis? It's not. It is very difficult. That is what I'm saying. Like, just don't rush because if you rush with submissions, what happens? Like, you try to collect some more data. If you rush with some more, like it is getting rejected. It is wasting your time itself. So at least you can have some data points, nearly 5 data points or 6 data points. So from there, at least you can get some trend and you can say, hey, this is what happening in the business. What?
Yes, sir. So, like, you're suggesting that I should collect more data, or like, can I go ahead with
You can just try to collect more data because still you have a time. It's not something like your time is. You are in a final stage, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, so if you can submit in on the last like term, it is in December, right? If you are submitting in December, you can just have a data for 3 more months, right? So from there, you'll just get an idea.
And sir, even then, my just overall question was that would it be okay if I even don't do the ML forecasting if I'm not comfortable?
Forecasting, it's not possible. 6 months data, even for a 6 month data, you won't be able to do a forecast.
So I can just suggest values, right?
Yes, you can suggest the values, you can suggest the trend, but forecasting is not possible. You need to train, you need to find, like if you are doing a machine learning, right? So what exactly the main thing you are doing in the machine learning? You are training a data. For training a data, you need as many samples as possible. If you want to match some faces in the image, right? So what you have to do, you have to train your model with a huge data set. then only it will be more accurate. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Garima.
Hello,
Yeah,
am I audible?
Krishna, your doubt is clear, right? Krishna Ji.
Sir, no, sir. I am waiting for the turn to come.
Yeah, I think it's your turn after Garima is there. I thought like I'm just addressing your doubt. So Garima, you can just come next. I just address it. Yeah, Krishna.
Okay, I will lower my hand, sir. Sir, actually, the thing is that I have approached a company who specializes in engineering services.
Okay.
What they do is they do service provide for construction of industrial sheds. So actually, he is ready to share the data. The data is in the terms of steel quantity, cement quantity, labor cost, like that. And
I think last time we have discussed your case, right? In the last meeting, if I'm not wrong, we have discussed your case. It's something like a construction company, right?
It's something like a construction company, but they are not physically, they are not doing any contractors. They only do the design of the sheds. They inspect, they give quality assurance, and they certify it. And they also, it is like an architectural firm, sir, but it is not like a what do you call? They don't physically get into and execute like a PMC, project management. So with them, how to start about? I am not able to get the business
Yeah, so in that case, like you have to see the potential clients. Okay, so the potential clients, their retention. After then, if they are able to share you the data, so what exactly they are giving the estimates also to the customers, or they are doing a
no, they give
raw
the
material
estimate.
analysis they are doing.
Yes, sir. Actually, what they are giving an estimate, they are fully designing it. And they also they are on the site till the execution. Only thing is they are not buying the material. They will give all the. But what they are telling is the material cost is fluctuating. For example, if they give a proposal, and if the proposal gets delayed by 6 months, by that time the material cost, like steel cost, it fluctuates.
Yes.
So there might be escalation or there might be reduction also. But the trend, what they are telling is always it is on the higher side, escalatory side only. So
Here multiple things you can do. You can just see like what exactly the lead time is there. So if they are giving estimates for the lead time, so how you can reduce the lead time? It depends upon the procurement. It depends upon the costing. It depends upon the customer's side. Like if they are delaying, so the lead time will delay, right? The other thing is that you can just try to approach like what exactly the other companies of. It's something like a consultancy company, right? So what exactly the price range is, because they want to expand their business as well. So a competitive analysis is needed, like what exactly the other companies are quoting, the prices they are quoting, and what exactly the structures they are following, pricing structures, what extra they can do. Because it's something like it's a consultancy is a very competitive market, right? Anybody who is having a 10-year experience, they can open their company and they can do consultancy, right? So the customer retention is pretty important here. Like the customers are satisfied or not, the previous customers, what they like, what exactly the situation they face, and what the drawbacks you are having, you need to implement in your process. So these are the things you can find it out, like what exactly they are having, what are the domains they are selecting, which domain, like they are having a lot of like consultancy they are doing for industry as well, for colleges as well, for some other people, like for some other society as well. So from there you can just segregate like what type of market they are having, right? So these are the market, what exactly the revenues they are getting from a particular market. Like if it is industrial, the most of his business is coming from industry side, right? So this is the important point which he need to consider. This is the important domain he need to consider, right? The other domain also he need to focus, but not that much, because this is the primary thing like which is contributing 90% of the business, right? So that you have to see from the data what type of businesses they are coming, what type of locations also you can see, like a different location. It's a tier 2 companies, a tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, or tier 1 cities where they are getting a lot of orders, right? So there might
Yeah,
be some
actually, he is
clusters.
getting from tier two only because there is only availability of land is there. So this is
Yeah, so these things, what I mean to say, like this, you need to think about, and you need to just formulate a business problem.
okay. Actually, sir, regarding the price of the steel, can I start with that as a business problem? Because what he is specialized is he is now making a template, a industrial shed for this area. Means for based upon the IS code, he is making some templates, and he is using the same reusing the same templates. So
That is
he can.
fine, but the thing is that he is not doing a business for a steel. He is a consultant for designing and this thing, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
in that, a lot of things are there that you need to find it out. Like basically, you know to focus your project on only one commodity, which is a part of his project, right? Because because something like if he don't have a, he's doing a consultancy, right? So if his steel price fluctuate also, it doesn't too much matter for him, because he is doing a consultancy. And at that time, like this is the thing, like if you are getting a government contract also, right? So when you are going for a building or something construction thing, so it will take nearly 6 months. So in that 6 months, the prices
Yes, sir.
obviously fluctuate. So what the companies are doing, they're putting a contingent amount, right? They are forecasting the prices for next 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months. They are adding plus minus tolerances over there in the prices. So this is what they are doing already doing, right? So it's something like they are having a contingency, they are having a miscellaneous amounts in when they are giving a proposal, or when they are quoting, they are giving a quotation. They are already including these things.
Okay. Actually, now he is ready to share two projects data, but I am not able to actually formulate as a business problem. I am struggling in that, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
maybe you can discuss with him and then find it out what exactly the business problem is all about.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Garima.
Hello.
Yeah, Garima.
Sir, actually, my midterm proposal is still under progress, like in
Then you
progress.
have to wait, like, because the deadline is on 15th, right? So within 15 you'll get the feedback. If you're not getting within the 15 or 16, you can just drop us a mail, we'll look into it. Because before the timeline, we can't able to just push it, because it depends upon the volume. We received a huge volume and it will take time to for the evaluation. That's why we have a timeline, right? From
Sir, one more thing. Sir, I have registered for this project in May term. So this is the second term, and I submitted the midterm proposal on the very first day, on the 7th October, and rest of my friends got their
No, it
response.
depends. Like it depends. So we don't have a single TA. We have a multiple TAs. So it depends upon the TA to TA. Some TAs, it will go in a hierarchy only, because it is shortlisting is basically based on your hierarchy. So first come, first submit, and first correction. So it might be the case that TA is not started till now, or he started, or he is just. So it is something like a pattern of a particular TA, right? But priority should be there. I'll just look into it and we'll get back to you.
Sir, it's a humble request because final submissions are going on. I want to submit it in this month only.
Yeah, but we are not expecting. We can't say TAs also before the deadline, right? Because we have a proper deadline and we need to stick with the deadline. Before that, we can't say, because if I can say for you, it is unjustified for others.
Not for others also, I'm saying, because for
No,
final.
no. So that's why we have Garima. That's why we have a deadline. So deadline is there. Before deadline, we are not just asking them. So if you are not getting with the deadline, we can immediately give you the feedback. So we can just follow up on a personal basis, right? So that is why we are told, like, we are not expecting you to submit back to back in the same cycle. Sometime it might not be possible. Sometime it is possible, right? So if we have a lesser number, it is possible. and sometimes it is not possible. So that's why you can have at least a backup in your hand. But we'll try at least before your final term. Like you'll get something, because today is 13 only, right? And there is a holidays for 2 days for like the Shara and this thing. Okay, so you'll get by before the deadline. Don't worry.
Okay, so thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So Raju.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Sir, actually, I am currently at my proposal stage. I am yet to submit the proposal. I have approached one coaching center for my project. So I have already to share the data for two classes, 11th and 12th.
Okay.
But the problem is I am not located. I work in a different city, and the coaching or tuition which is I'm planning to work on is in another city. So physical verification, you can say physical verification is not possible for me.
No, we didn't ask you to go physically, right? We ask you can take a data remotely. You can just have a Google Meet. You can refer the videos, whatever is there. So this is already addressed, like how you need to just take a data. So in a first orientation video, after then I took 2 Sunday session. Already I have clarified this thing. So
Okay,
you can refer. It's not necessary like you have to stay there.
Okay. So, also one because I have in my case the primary source of data will be the coaching center, and there will be some other secondary sources. But those secondary sources like online data, data from marketing agencies or something for advertising. So, do we need to provide
It's
proof for
not.
the
I'm
secondary
not
data
able
as
to
well?
comment. I'm not. I'm not able to comment it right now because I don't have any idea. You submit your report. So if you have a dominating data from a secondary thing, like it will get rejected because the dominant is from this thing, right? So you submit your report, you will get a feedback.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, I have a small question, sir. When will the pitch meetings be held in this? Like,
Pitch making, maybe in the next meeting, I'll try to have a pitching session with our TAs with breakout room. So I'll try in the next week.
okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I have, so I am audible.
Yeah, audible. Tell me.
So I've submitted my proposal. I have two problem statements. The first one, which is the primary one, and which is much more substantial, that one's coming along fine. The second one, and I mentioned this in the proposal that got accepted, is it'll be much more difficult to do. So like my query is just by the time of the midterm final project, if I'm finding if I'm not able to make much headway on the second problem, how do I tackle that with those reports? Like, do I just write this was attempted, end result was not much on this, focus was then devoted to problem one?
That thing we need to see, Yajat, because if the problem is statement number one, if you are just not doing anything for problem statement number two, right? So you have only one thing left over. It's a problem statement number one. So if you don't have a good analysis for problem statement number one, your report might get rejected. Right? If you have a like if you are doing a good work on problem one, there might be the case it will accept, but the TA need to see like what exactly the problem is, two problem statement you have quoted on, right? So on the basis of that, they'll see the data and they'll just take the call.
Assuming problem one is handled well and problem two, like I plan to attempt it, but like just looking ahead, there's like 40, 50, 45% chances I don't make
No, if
much
you have
headway.
a data, right? If you have a data, you can see like if some other problem statements also you can able to introduce, right? If it is possible, you can just put a comment like problem statement number one is feasible, second is not feasible as per the data, and I'm just quoting a new problem statement, which is this might be this is pretty useful after the conversation with the business owner.
Okay, got it. So that's an option, just looking from
Okay.
that second. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Kirti.
Uh, Hi, sir.
Yeah.
So, I have got data for about 10 months, sir. So, the business owner is asking me if I can do a forecast for the entire year and the subsequent year. So, is it possible, sir, with 10 months of data?
For a year, they want to forecast, right? What type of
Yes.
business it is?
It's a kids' clothing retail business, sir.
So for 10 months data, you need to see like if there is a huge fluctuation, like if it's a variation with month to months or festive seasons are there, right? Or there is some random fluctuation also.
Mm.
Then you need to find it out what you can do it from there. So it is, I'm not able to say right now. You have to visualize your data and you have to take a call. If there is a huge fluctuation during the months, during some certain period, then you need to see for the other year data, like the same thing is happening in subsequent years, 2 years, 3 years. Then only you can just able to forecast it for a 1 year. Because if something is happening in suppose a month of May, right, but it is not repeating in other months, then you have to see like if the same thing is happening in previous year also, there should be some trend. If there should be some trend for previous 2 years, then you can say like this is a repeatable thing is, otherwise your forecasting will not be correct.
But they have just now started the business for the past 10 months. So that's the issue. I'm doubting if we can.
Maybe you can just try, you can see, that is what I told, like you can see the pattern of a sales, like if there
Okay.
is a huge fluctuation on a monthly basis or something, like you can see some insights. If there is a consistent sales, you can do a forecasting. If there is a huge fluctuation, then forecasting is pretty different because you have to identify what why these fluctuations are coming.
And also, I did a volume Pareto. I found out like only 45% of the SKUs are contributing out of 500 SKUs which they had. So, can I remove the rest of the SKUs and only focus on those
Yeah,
40?
that's what you need to do in a data cleaning. You need to remove the non-profitable, like if it is giving a 0.01% profit, right? It doesn't make any sense. There you have to in a data cleaning process. You have to take up SKUs which are affecting or which are contributing more to the businesses. Because it's not possible for you to analyze 500 SKUs, right?
Mm. Okay, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, tell me. So who's the next? Sandhya?
Yes, sir. Sir, I wanted to know where can I find the format for the final report? I need
Final
to
report
submit it.
format is not there. Sandhya, final report format is not there. Neither you have a midterm report format. The thing is that the format is only the one. We have a proposal format. The other thing is that, like, if you are going with a midterm or final term, what you need to change, you need to change the subheadings only or content of the report. The structure is same. So there is no format for final or midterm. So the same format you can take. From there, you can just remove the sections and you can include the sections for your final report.
All right, sir. Sir, which section should I remove from them? The
That you can
executive
just refer
summary.
the document. You can refer the document of guideline. There itself it is given what exactly the portion should be there in the midterm, what is there in the final term. That you need to include. Like because the problem statement is not a part of a final report, right? So you need to go. You need to see the document, guideline documents. What should be the structure of your final report? That you need to refer from there.
Sir, I did see all the documents, but I could not find any document for the final report.
No,
The
there is
structure
not a
of the
that
final.
is what I'm saying. There is no document. There is a rubrics document, right? From rubrics document, you can see what exactly the sections are there for the final report.
Okay, okay. It's a rubrics document.
Yeah, in the rubrics itself, it is written what exactly the sections and what the weightage of that particular section is also written.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Karthik.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Yeah,
So,
good evening.
I'm working on with a retail shop who sells TMT bars. So, I have two questions. So, one is, for example, let's say if there is a data point missing, can I assume that I can put my own data points based on the trend, sales trend? Can I do that, or should I take it as an outlier? And also, along with that, the one more question was, and the problem statement, what I'm assuming, I'll try to put it on solve on that problem statement, that is the inventory optimization and then low sales. So tomorrow, if I find some other better interesting problem, like major problem if they're facing, which I don't know, based on the data only I'll have to figure out. So when I see the trend. So can I take that also into the picture, or how do I tackle this? What should we do
Yeah,
in this case?
so I'll just address first thing. You can't able to make a synthetic data, right? This is what if you are just doing manipulation in the data. If you are adding or
Hmm.
something, it is act as a synthetic data, right? So which is not
Okay.
acceptable. Right? If we caught it, we it should be plagiarized, and you will be penalized for that. The first thing.
Okay.
The other thing
Okay.
is that, like, yes, as I already told, like to Yeshak also, like if it is possible, you can just include the problem statement, because in the midterm, you can just say like these are the problem statement which you find and the potential problem while discussing
Mhm.
with the business owner, and with data, I'm able to find it out. Like then you can just add one to two problem statement with a proper comment. If you won't write a comment, or if you don't include anything which is showing like you have included, then it might get rejected, because it is not allowed to include this thing, right? You can't change the problem statement. The concerned TA will compare your previous proposal. He'll just see
Mhm.
what exactly the problem statement was there, and along with that, he will just review your reports. So if it is missing there, he will say like how these data are coming. He'll get confused and he'll reject the report. So you need to mention clearly like this is what problem statement you want to add.
Okay, understood, sir. And just one last question: it is recommended to do it on a post game or a, the future itself? I like, what's your say, or what's your take on this?
I didn't get
When
your question. In the future
so
or in
so
what do you want?
what I mean is, so should I? It is better to work on the data which is already past data, or is it like if there is any forecast is there? So is it recommended to work on the forecast? So that
Forecast,
is
how the forecasts are coming. Forecast coming
so
on the
for
data itself, right?
yes, yes, and then
If
that is
from the previous
already.
data only you can do a forecasting. It is not something like it is you are forecasting first and the data is coming,
Mhm.
right? So yeah,
Okay, all right, sir. Got it.
yeah. Shayad,
Good evening, sir.
yeah. Good evening.
Sir, actually, I chosen a jewelry shop, sir.
Acha.
They are good at sales and maintaining stock, and they know which stock will be in demand, and they are very good at it. But the main problem is the time management, sir, and inventory management.
Okay.
Actually, for every month they will check the, matlab, they will verify the stock piece to
Mm-hmm.
piece, and they will make a report, and I have foreseen through it for the
Mm-hmm.
6 months. Made a trend, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So after talking to the owner, he said me that he's not willing to give me the sales report, because of the market trends and whatever he's saying that वो थोड़ा ज़्यादा complicated है ऐसा बोल रहा.
Mm-hmm.
But he is saying that actually the shop should be open at 11 o'clock, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But as the customers increase it rapidly, they are opening the shop at 12:30. वो मैं भी देखा, वो रजिस्टर देखा, मतलब हर दिन वॉचमैन के पास वो रजिस्टर रहता,
Mm-hmm.
कितना कस्टमर कौन सा टाइम में चला जा रहा बोल के.
Mm-hmm.
Before the shop opening, every day there were 3 to 4 customers, sir,
Mm-hmm.
which is a huge loss for them in jewelry field.
No, the thing is that walk in and walk out, right? This will not give you the sales pattern, because sometimes people कुछ कभी-कभी लोग आते हैं
Sir.
प्रोडक्ट्स देखते हैं और चले जाते हैं वापस, बट इन रजिस्टर इट इज काउंटिंग, राइट? सो इट डजंट मीन लाइक दे हैव परचेज और नॉट. उससे पता नहीं चलता कि उन्होंने परचेज किया कि नहीं किया.
Okay, sir. But
राइट.
actually, for every jewelry customers, if there is for exactly सोच लो कि एक महीना के लिए 90 कस्टमर है, 90 में कम से कम 50% चांसेस है ना सर, ये कस्टमर खरीदेगा. और उसने बोला है कि हर दिन वो जो बॉक्स वेट टैली करता है, आइटम टैली करता है ना, उसकी वजह से हमको लेट हो रहा। एक्चुअली कस्टमर्स विल लीव द शॉप एट 10 o'clock, but their inventory reconciliation or stock management, it is taking 2 to 3 hours, sir.
हम्म।
So for them I have made an
नहीं,
Excel
तो
report for
उसमें
how
क्या
they
है कि वो
manage.
पहले से इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट करे ना, दे हैव अ टाइम, राइट? सो
No, sir.
वो लोग,
No, sir.
हाँ।
As the customers increase it, their closing time has been disturbed, sir.
हम्म
Actually, before the shop will be closed by 10:30 to 11.
हम्म।
And in the past few months, the customers increase it rapidly, sir.
सो दैट इज व्हाट शायद यही आप बताइए उनको कि
Sir.
आपको पता है कि कस्टमर इंक्रीज हो रहा है एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे, लेकिन वो क्या है, और उस टाइम पे ऐसी कोई कमोडिटी है जो ज्यादा बिक रही है, वो तो डेटा से आएगा ना,
Sir.
करेक्ट? तो वो तो डेटा से आएगा, वो तो ऐसे नहीं पता चलेगा। तो वो अगर डेटा देंगे आपको, सेल्स परचेज का ट्रेंड अगर आपको पता चलेगा,
Sir.
राइट, इस टाइम, उससे आप क्लस्टर्स निकाल सकते हो,
Okay,
राइट,
sir.
कि ये टाइम जो है इसमें बहुत ज्यादा क्लस्टर्स ऑफ पीपल्स आते हैं, या ये दिन जो है, जैसे मान लो फ्राइडे है या सैटरडे है, राइट,
Okay.
तो फ्राइडे सैटरडे क्या है, ये ऐसे दिन है जहाँ क्लस्टर्स बहुत ज्यादा है
Yes,
इन
sir.
कंपैरिजन टू अदर डेज। तो उस हिसाब से आप फिर उनको सजेशन दे सकते हो कि ये क्लस्टर्स पॉइंट हैं जो कि
Okay.
आपको हैंडल करने हैं ये पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे और ये पर्टिकुलर डेज पे, राइट। तो अगर आप ये नहीं क्लस्टर मेंटेन करोगे तो आपको इतना लॉस हो सकता है। ये आप पता करोगे कहाँ से? सेल्स से, कि पर मतलब उन क्लस्टर्स में सेल कितनी हुई,
Okay,
कन्वर्ट
sir.
कितने हुए। आपके पास रजिस्टर है, आप कंपेयर करोगे कि इतने कस्टमर वॉक इन हुए,
Sir.
राइट, लेकिन उस पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे इतने कस्टमर नहीं खरीदा, तो इट मींस जो अदर कस्टमर थे या तो वो भीड़ के कारण चले गए,
Sir, sir.
ठीक है, या तो उनको वो कमोडिटी नहीं मिली, स्टॉक आउट हो गया,
Yes, sir.
ठीक है। तो वो चीजें आपको दोनों कंपेयर करनी के, वॉक इन वॉक आउट टाइम पे क्लस्टर्स परचेज कितने कन्वर्ट हुआ।
Okay.
दिस इज अ गुड बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम।
Okay, sir.
मान लो 50 लोग आए, 50 में से कितने ने खरीदा, हो सकता है कि 10 नहीं खरीदा हो, बाकी 40 लोग आए लेकिन किसी कारणवश वो वापस चले गए,
Okay, sir.
करेक्ट?
Okay, sir. One more question, sir. Actually, he asked me the sales is pretty good
ओके।
and he is very good at मतलब वो जो क्या क्या डिमांड में है वो उनको पता है, लेकिन उनको प्रॉब्लम क्या है बोले तो हर दिन नाइट में जो इन्वेंट्री मिलाना है वो पूरा काउंटिंग करना बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रहा बोल रहे हैं। तो आई मेड एन एक्सेल रिपोर्ट, सर. आई एम वेरी
ओके,
गुड एट इट. So can I show it as my work in the project, sir?
you can also show, yeah, this is your work, you can show, you can give a you just say like this is what the recommendation I have given and this
Okay.
is what exactly I have made for them, this is a part of your recommendation।
Okay, okay, sir.
ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट नहीं, लेकिन ये आपका रिकमेंडेशन है जो आपने उनको दिया और वो इम्प्लीमेंट किया,
Okay, okay, thank you, sir.
है ना? ओके, या युवराज।
Yes, hello, sir. Good evening.
या
Sir, I have a problem with related to how to know the problem of a business and to how to collect the data with respect to like that problem. So my first thing is like to know the previous problem, we have two things, right? First is like to talk with manager or the owner of the shop, or to analyze. Second is to analyze the data that we'll get. I have an issue in second point, like in knowing the problem with the data. So how by which type of data should I collect so that we
no
can
no no
know?
this is a wrong process, I have clarified this in the last session, you can review the video. So this is a wrong process, you can't define the problem statement based on the data.
Okay.
So you have to talk to the business, you have to find the problem statement and you have to collect the data. Sometimes it may comes with the data, but you're not sure like whether it is a problem, is business problem or not. So this is a wrong practice, you don't have to go in a second way or reverse way.
Okay, first is the only option, sir. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so sir, my business is like about the motor vehicle showroom. So which type of data should I collect? Like
I am not able to say, Raj. That is what I told you. You have to discuss with the business owner. So
Okay.
you can just do a pre-study. That is what always I'm saying to everyone. Just do a pre. If you know it's a automobile business, right? You can just search in the internet, right? What exactly the business problem. This is what exactly call a pre-study, where you can study about the business before going to approach the business owner, right? So you have to study about the business here, and then only you have to go. Like If you don't have anything to discuss, what you can discuss? You just go to him and ask for the data, right? If you have something else, if you have a knowledge about the business, right? What type of business it is, how it is running, what type of problems they are facing, then only you can have a rich discussion, and he will be able to give you a good data.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Mehul.
Hello, good evening, sir. I'm taking data from a tooling company.
Okay.
So instead of taking in number of months, can I take data as number of tools? Like how much time is taken to manufacture this many number of parts? Can I
That is
take?
what lead time you have to calculate, right?
Yes, sir. Like suppose one part takes 2 weeks to manufacture.
But how that part, like if you are taking a part, right, you can say a time. Okay. But how on a business point of view you can justify, like if this part is taking longer time, how it is affecting the business? That also you want to bring in your report, right?
Yes, sir. Instead of the 3 months or duration of the data collected, can I calculate like number of parts have been taking data?
That also you need to see, like in a month, if it is producing 100 parts, right? In second month, there might be the case he is producing only 2 parts. How you can justify, like it is the business is more for this part or business is less for this particular part? What is the lead time and how it is affecting? So you have to mix everything. It is not something like you are taking only one product data and you are just giving things. So you have to see like how many this type of products are coming or manufacturing in the company for a year. What exactly the tooling? There might be the case lead time in some of the seasons are more, right? In some of the months are more. Why it is more? You have to think about it, right? In some cases the lead time is less, right? In some months the lead time is less, in some months it's more, maybe due to the power shortage or due to the rainy season, or there might be the different cases. You have to think, you have to discuss with the business owner, and then you have to just come up with some recommendations.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Guru Raj.
Good evening, sir. I am actually working with a fence manufacturing company. They are like the leading fence manufacturers in India, and they
Okay.
have a very complex product portfolio. Could I share my screen just to show you?
No, maybe you can't share because this is an open meeting and it is going to social
Okay.
media. Yeah. So
Okay, so basically, like they have 24 main products, sir, and within each product, sometimes the sub products vary from 20 to 150. And
Mhm.
so their problem is like they have, for some products they have a very long stock holding time, and so far they have been ordering based on the gut feeling or like the normal business sense, and they want to analyze which products have a long holding time, which are the best sellers, laggards, like that.
Yes,
So
yes.
and then I did a preliminary investigation and I went to them like the products which are having the highest stock for the last 52 weeks, and then they gave me a recommendation to actually focus on four key products. Actually, I got a mail yesterday, so I'll be working on that. So if I want to communicate with the TAs or with you, can I do it by email or how can I do it, sir?
No. So what you can do, you can drop us a mail. So we are not having a interaction with the TAs with the students because they don't have a time to interact with you.
Okay,
So you can
so I
just drop us a mail. We look into your mail, and
okay.
on the basis, like if it is a technical thing, we can give you some recommendations.
Okay, so but that is the problem actually. So we have to look like more than 500 data and then analyze which one are the leaders, laggards, or different inferences we have to take out from the data.
Yeah, that you can do in a data cleaning. Now you can just make
Yeah,
a simple code, and based on a mean and standard deviation, you can easily find out like what exactly
yeah.
trend of the product.
Like we have using Ciabron and then the product mix I have like finalized and then give them and they return with the feedback like which products they want to focus.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
now I have to analyze on those four products.
Yeah, correct,
So
correct.
I will drop by a mail, sir. Yeah, then.
Yeah. So I think it is you need to do a data cleaning. So you just try with the data cleaning. From data cleaning, you are able to find out like what exactly the
Yeah, I
source.
have done that actually. I will share my email to you. You can have a look and then you would know. So the work that I have done so far.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it is pretty difficult. Don't expect a reply in 2 to 3 days
No,
because.
I understand that. Yeah.
So I'll look into it and we'll just able to comment on it. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Doctor.
Okay.
Aditya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Vikshita.
Good evening, sir. So, recently I have approached a company that is doing metal processing and chemical manufacturing. They're pretty much in profits, but when I talked with the owner, he said they're facing issues with infrastructure. That's the main problem of the company. So,
Mm-hmm.
can it be my main statement? Like, if I take two, three problem statements, can it also be part of it?
Yeah, you can make. That is what I am always saying, Vikshita. You don't have to stick with only something like a monopoly in the market. Okay. So if you go with a single problem statement, is a monopoly in the market. So if you are not able to get the data, or you are sometimes you are stuck with the problem statement, you need to repeat project again, because you are not able to go with that problem statement. You are stuck. You don't have a data. So on a safer side, at least you can just code 2 to 3 problem statement, right? So that you are on a safer side. If your problem statement number one is not working, you can just switch on to the second one or third one.
Okay. Also, since it's a infrastructure problem and it's not prima facie the sales data or something, can I still go with it? That problem state.
No, then how you can just bring a business prospects here? It's not possible, right? So how you can convert you? It's up to you. I don't know what exactly the data is all about, right? So you need to see like what the data is all about, and then you need to take a call.
Okay. Like if it's related to the factory infrastructure, if it's affecting the indirect cost, in that way I can mix it up. But if it's completely independent, then I should avoid it.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Samrat, and after then Lavinya. So I'll take two more questions and then
Good
I'll.
evening, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, I apologize. My question is like on an entirely different track from the others, but I'm currently have to submit my final submission. I'm just left with that. I would appreciate if you could share some guidance regarding the data set drive link. I have some doubts about it, if I may ask.
Data set drive.
So we're supposed to share the data set as a drive link, no, in our final submission.
Correct.
So what my doubt is that I have given editor access to anyone with link inside IITM, but the
No, no, no.
feedback.
That you need not to give, right? You're not
So
supposed
it should be for any editor access for anyone with the link.
You have to give data access with any one of the link, right? Because the TAs are there, right? So TAs will access your file, and you don't have to give an editor access, because we don't want to access or download your data. We need to see your data only, right? You
Okay.
can give a viewer access, that is also fine.
Okay.
Because
So
your data is pretty confidential, right? If somehow it is leaked from your end, or some by mistake from your end, right? Somebody will take your data and might be they can misuse it. So better to just give a view option only, so that we need to validate only like your whatever you are giving in your report, what the trend is coming. You have a data for that or not? It's not something a synthetic generated reports you submitted, right?
okay, sir. Sir, what my issue was that I have given access to IIT email IDs only, but the feedback that I got was that it's not accessible. So could it be because of that?
No, no, your data, I don't know. Like, you need to check whether it is accessible or not, because we are just clicking on the link, whatever you are giving. If it is not accessible, we can just, I think your report should be on hold, like if it is not accessible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The whole system was introduced this time only. No, I had submitted last month, I think.
Yeah, then you need to see, cross check, like if the links are working, you can just cross check from your other email IDs. But IIT email IDs only you have one. If you just hyperlink it properly, it works, because for all the students it's working. So it's basically depending upon you how you are linking your data with the report.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Lavinya.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
So actually, I'm dealing with a tea selling franchisee owner.
Mhm.
So he owns a franchisee of some brand, and he has problem with the quality of raw material he's receiving. So actually, the raw material is not consistent. So I've got
Yeah.
the data, yeah,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
Yeah, and when the quality is less, like the taste is not that good in that month, they are not getting that much profit. So I'm unable to understand if I should go with this problem statement or not.
Then you have to, the thing is that like if you're going for the tea raw material business, right?
Yes.
So there might be the case, the issues with the quality will not depend upon the farmer or a tea gardenian, right? It depends upon the seasons, depends upon the soil, right? Sometimes the quality of the tea leaves are pretty good based on the season, and sometimes it is not good. So you, from this data, what you can do, you can find it out like what exactly the qualities fluctuations are happening, in which season you are getting a good quality.
So, but
And
they're receiving this raw material from the franchisee,
then it might be
franchisee
the case with
like
our
from the
franchisee.
company of which the franchisee is.
Then it might be the case of the franchisee. You need to explore
Yeah.
it from where it is coming, because it is directly affecting the business.
So then what is the role of this franchisee owner in this? I'll have to directly go to that company, right?
You have to
Contact that
find it out.
company.
You have to find it out, like what exactly the means, like how much duration. Like if for 2 months it is coming good, after then it is the quality is reduced. You need to find it out like from them only, based
Yes,
on
sir.
that.
So I'm confused if I should like go with this
You
franchisee
can
owner
go
only
with
or
this, but you need to do.
yeah.
That is what I told you. Like you need to do a pre-study, right? You need to check what exactly the problems, why it is happening. You need to find it out first, right?
Yes, sir.
So then only you can just ask them like this might be the reason. Then they'll just give you some insights. Yeah, yeah, this might be the reasons, and there might be some other reasons as well. So you need to explore like what exactly the things are happening when you have a tea franchisee, and why these fluctuations are happening on what level. Like it is, if it is directly coming from the farming or farmers, like way, like even the retailer who is giving to the franchisee person, they are also facing the same issues.
Okay, sir. I'll do it. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll wind up the meeting now for today. So happy Dussehra to all. I think Dussehra is already, it was yesterday, but today also in some places people are celebrating. So I'll close out the meeting now, and I will try to meet next week. I'll just see like if it is possible, we can have a breakout room where we can discuss about the problem statements and like where you can pitch for the business problems, like the previous activity we are doing on a regular basis, right? So okay, so by this I'll just wind up, and yeah, great. So I'll just share the recordings. Just keep updated yourself with the mails. uh, Most of the things like you will get in videos or in document. I hope we have shared the book. It might be useful, like those who have referred, just give any comments, like if you have referred, how it is, how the book quality it is, and what you feel, because in book itself nearly we have 10 to 12 projects, right? So from there you'll get a good understanding. Anybody here who just reviewed or who just go through the book? Okay, I think nobody is there. Okay, fine. So we'll meet next week. Bye bye. Bye. See you all.